my shepherd, you're my guide. Whatever I need, the Lord will provide. And praise your holy name, Lord. I know you're wonderful. That is so wonderful. Oh, I know you're wonderful. And I know the Lord.
Hey, it's time for a special giveaway. Major Moves in a Minor Key is written by author, minister, musician, and business owner KV Banks. We are giving away a copy of the ebook. For your chance to win, be the third person to email cbiztv@yahoo.com. That's cbiztv@yahoo.com. Be that third email and you win.
It's okay to feel the way you do. Swimming in the love that they give you, you drown. They would never love you like I do. In this ocean, you're always.
Sit down for a second, I got something to tell you. Every day I wake up, I'm hoping I don't fail you. I'm not a perfect person, just wanna prepare you for the day when I'm gone and daddy's no longer near you. This world is so cold, we live in a broken system, but the best way to make it is learning to use wisdom. Just cause they say they love you, that don't mean that they with you. Cause some same smiling faces can quietly be against you. They even try to divide you, don't let them convince you. You both are your brother's keeper now into the future. Show respect whenever you start to date, and if that girl ain't in the faith, don't give her the time of day. Some women don't know their worth, they quit to give it away. You probably don't understand, one day I'll elaborate. I'm hoping I set a standard, how men and women relate by the way that I treat your mother and how we communicate. You growing up with your daddy, but daddy ain't have his daddy, and daddy ain't know his daddy till daddy was 28. So listen what daddy tell you, cause daddy has had some failures. I learned to do trial and error, don't follow daddy's mistakes. We all got purpose, nobody can ever take it. I love you for being you, that bond can never be shaken. Love God, love people, always follow the way. Stay humble, stay real, just remember to pray. Got purpose, nobody can ever take it. I love you for being you, that bond can never be shaken.
It's okay to feel the way you do. Swimming in the love that they give you, you drown.
Love God, love people, always follow the way. Stay humble, stay real, just remember to pray. Y'all got this.
What does the word wisdom mean to you?
I don't know.
You don't know what the word wisdom means?
No.
Malachi, come here. What's the word wisdom mean to you?
Jesus.
Jesus?
I think Jesus is wisdom.
You think Jesus is wisdom? I
He's
agree with that, yeah.
When you see Jesus, you're seeing wisdom.
How do you trust God when you don't trust God? I mean, you know in your mind that you should trust God. You tell other people that they should trust God. We sing songs in church about trusting God, but when you look at your circumstances and your past experiences and what is going on in your life, they all tell you that God cannot be trusted. That's coming up today. Hey, my friend, welcome to The Beat. My name is Alan Parr. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, it's a pleasure. If you enjoy this video, consider subscribing and hit that little bell notification so you won't miss a beat. So today we're talking about how you can trust God when you really don't trust God. And we're going to jump right in. There is a man in the Old Testament named Habakkuk, and in verse 1, it tells us that this guy is a prophet, which lets us know that whether you are a prophet, a preacher, a pastor, or a pew member, that trusting God can be a struggle no matter who you are, no matter what stage of your Christian life that you are in. So let's take a look at the context of this book so that we can see exactly why Habakkuk was struggling in his faith. Chapter 1 verse 2 says this: "Violence is everywhere, I cry, but you do not come to save. Must I forever see these evil deeds? Why must I watch all this misery? Wherever I look, I see destruction and violence. I am surrounded by people who love to argue and fight. The law has become paralyzed, and there is no justice in the courts. The wicked far outnumber the righteous, so that justice has become perverted." So imagine being part of a society where the law was simply not being carried out. There was no justice. The wicked were getting away with crimes. People around you were getting killed. They were getting slaughtered. People that were close to you were being murdered. And it seemed in the midst of all of this crazy chaos that God wasn't doing anything. And this is what frustrated the prophet Habakkuk. The first frustration that he had, which is very similar to the ones that we have, is, "God, you must not be listening to my prayers." Notice what he says here in chapter 1 verse 2. "How long, O Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen?" Have you ever felt this way? I mean, you feel like your prayers are not even getting past the ceiling, let alone reaching God's heavenly doors. And it seems like no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter how much you give, no matter how much you go to church, no matter what you do, you just cannot seem to get a prayer to God. And it seems like God is not listening. Well, verse 5 teaches us something else. It says here, "The Lord replied." Now we'll get into what he talked about later, but this is proof here that even though we at times don't think that God is listening to us, he hears us, he sees us, he knows us, and he is in tune with exactly what's going on in our lives, even if we do not get the answers from God that we want. Habakkuk's second frustration is found in verse 2, and he says, "Hey, look, okay, maybe you are listening to me, but you don't care about us because you are not doing anything, God." Notice what he says here. He says, "Violence is everywhere, I cry, but you do not come to save." Have you ever felt that way? I mean, God, I am trying to get in touch with you. I'm crying out. I'm doing everything I possibly know how to do, and my circumstances have not yet changed, which has led me to the conclusion that, God, even if you hear me, you just must not care. Well, notice what God's reply here is in verse 5. It says, "For I am doing something in your own day, something that you wouldn't believe even if someone told you about it. I am raising up the Babylonians, a cruel and violent people." So God graciously gives Habakkuk a sneak peek, a little bit of insight into his divine plan. He says, "Hey, I am in the midst of doing something, even though you may not agree with it, you may not like it." Basically, what he's saying is this: I am in the midst of raising up an evil generation, an evil nation called the Babylonians, and I am going to use that evil nation to come and discipline and punish my own people. This leads to Habakkuk's third complaint, his third frustration, which is very similar to what we experience, which is, "God, this is not fair. I don't understand your plan." Notice what he says here in response to God. He says in verse 12, "O Lord my God, my Holy One, you who are eternal, surely you do not plan to wipe us out. O Lord, our rock, you have sent these Babylonians to correct us, to punish us for our many sins, but you are pure and cannot stand the sight of evil. Will you wink at their treachery?" He's saying, hey, how can you use them to punish us whenever they are much more sinful than we are? How can you look past their sin and not do something to punish them, but yet you're going to punish us? He says, "God, I don't understand that plan. I don't agree with that plan. I don't like that plan." And this leads to God's third response to Habakkuk, which is found in chapter 2, verse 3, and it says this: "This vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed." So God is saying, Habakkuk, I know that you can't understand what's going on right now. That's because it's not meant for you to understand right now. He says this vision is for some time in the future. Right now, it's it's not going to make sense, but over time, my divine plan will come to pass. You know, there are many things in my life that I can just say that at the time when I was in the midst of going through the craziness and the chaos, it did not make sense, and I was frustrated, I was angry, I was confused, and I was crying out to God, why do I have to go through this? And then oftentimes it was years later in my life that I was able to look back in my past and see exactly what God was up to all along. And so sometimes the things that we're dealing with in our lives are not meant for us to understand right now. They will be revealed and clear later, and sometimes we may not ever get the answer to our question, why? Perhaps the greatest verse in this entire book is in chapter 2, verse 4, which says, the righteous will live by faith. Now, what exactly does that look like? Habakkuk clearly spells it out for us in chapter 3, verses 17 through 19, three of the most beautiful verses in all of Scripture. He says this, even though the fig trees have no blossoms, and there are no grapes on the vine, and even though the olive crop fails, and the fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields, and the cattle barns are empty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer. This may be one of the most beautiful pictures of faith, because Habakkuk is saying, God, okay, I get it. My circumstances around me aren't making sense. Everywhere I look, there is no growth. There's nothing positive happening, but yet I will still praise you. I will still rejoice even in the midst of my dark situation. So one of the things that I love about the story of Habakkuk is that it lets us know that God invites us to bring our pain, our frustration, our confusion, our hurt, our disappointment to Him. He doesn't cast us away. He meets us right where we are in the midst of the craziness and the chaos of life. So how do you trust God when you don't trust God? Well, number one, know that He hears you and sees you every time you cry out to Him. Second of all, even though you may not see what He's doing, know that He is always working behind the scenes. And then finally, accept the fact that there are some things about God's plan that we just won't understand. If you found this video helpful in any way, feel free to share it with a friend. Also, if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on The Beat.
Come on, put your hands together. Come on, you can move on right now. I will lift my hands. Hey, I will lift my voice. Hey, hey, I will lift my hands to praise your name. Oh, yeah. I will sing my song. Hey, hey, hey. praise him today. I'll praise him in the morning. I'll praise him in the new day. I'll praise him in the evening. I'll praise him when the sun goes down.
People telling me don't go there. People telling me don't go there. There's going to be blood in the streets. Don't go. In the streets, so lay back and feel this beat. Maybe it's summertime, feel this heat. I wanna see my loved ones come home, enjoy the night, sleep tight until the daylight. But there's blood in the streets. There's going to be blood in the streets. Don't go there. Don't go. The Coliseums, they coming for. Take away these kings and queens. These boys and girls represent kings and queens. 2 cents, $1. I said my piece, but here we go, back at it again. There's blood in the streets. There's blood in the streets. come out looking for blood. They come out the club. They come out looking for blood.
Hey, it's time for a special giveaway. Major Moves in a Minor Key is written by author, minister, musician, and business owner KV Banks. We are giving away a copy of the ebook. For your chance to win, be the third person to email cbiztv@yahoo.com. That's cbiztv@yahoo.com. Be that third email and you win.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know where I'll be without music. That's a true story. I'ma let y'all into the gateway to my mind. Yeah. I noticed, had my lowest moments who really was around. With no one, in my emotions I drowned. I found to the people who were near. Well, I be talking, but they don't really hear. I really wanna tell them all the facts, but they can't. I mean, I really can't handle that. Wait, nah, I can't handle that. I let them in and they got ammo if they ever attack. And they do. It's where I'm from. You can't be vulnerable. If there's a chink in your armor, you can bet that's where they coming for. Yeah. Why can't they see beyond my mask? Well, I'm a pro, so that's a dumb question to ask. I'm the master of the straight face. Ask me how I'm doing. Shit, chillin', man. Coach should be my last name. And yeah, I'm cold, got a frozen heart of gold. And it won't have thought, please say it ain't so. But I swear I got good intentions. But I kill it, I don't know. I'm on a self-destructive path. Get out the way. I try to ask for help, it's another mistake. Mistake, I just can't catch a break. I ask for advice, do you hear what you say? Like, you got it, what you worry about? You the man, yeah, you figure it out. Well, yeah, I figured the route. The way it's headed, said it's all up in south. I wanna tell them that I'm falling. I just ain't hit the ground. But I've been watching, and it's about like anytime now. Said I've been lost, and I need some direction. They tell me, won't you pray to God, oh God, won't you catch this interception? Tell him that I'm falling. I just ain't hit the ground, but I've been watching, and it's about like anytime now. I said I've been lost, and I need some direction. They tell me, won't you pray to God, oh God, won't you catch this reception? How's the reception? How I make sure that it's clear? Is anyone there? Like, is anyone here? I've been feeling so alone. Up in my room, but I'm so far from home. Got no place to go, no comfort zone. Snakes all around town, no remote the lawn. They say when it rains it pours. When I'm feeling like it's 40 days, 40 nights. Can't show the pain, so I post a pic for 40 likes. Show a light, I'm swimming underwater, write a post about fighting through the storm and the people type. Show you right, but they don't really see the plight. How am I? Look, my hands outstretched, but I ain't waving high. That's just me grasping for a lifeline. The picture's crap. I'm catching wave after wave after wave, and the waves won't stop. I'm suffering in silence, try not to scream out. I'm normally good to manage, but the days I'm not. Hear me out. I'm confident and I believe in me too, but all I ever needed was someone to speak to, that I could be true. And when you tell them, they believe you. When I say that I'm falling, I just ain't hit the ground. But I've been watching, and it's about like any time now. Said I've been lost, and I need some direction. They tell me, won't you pray to God, oh God, won't you catch this interception? Tell him that I'm falling, I just ain't hit the ground. But I've been watching, and it's about like any time now. Said I've been lost, and I need some direction. They tell me, won't you pray to God, oh God, won't you catch this interception? Tell them that I'm falling.
Is a brand new day. All you gotta do is stop and pray. But trust in God with all your might. He will always show you the light. I know. Sometimes you feel real down. You feel like you've been pushed around. Hold on to Jesus' hand.